What's up, and welcome to the Indie Credible Podcast, episode 64, a weekly podcast where we get together and chat about the world of indie gaming. We go through all the indie games we've been playing, we go through the latest indie game news, and we cover a main topic. This week's main topic is actually some, feedback, a comment from one of our listeners or our viewers who kind of went into it. Rant/comment, and I replied saying, can we use this because it's a great question. There's like 4 or 5 questions that pop up in there, and we're going to kind of discuss the state of the kind of AAA versus indie gaming marketing scene and how general gamers act as consumers, and that's kind of all I give on it. It should be quite an interesting topic or rant at the end. But yeah, as always, I'm Lewis. Haven't changed my name yet. Only done it once in my life. You can find me at What's Up Woody. To my left is Tom. You can find him at Shriek and Profit. To my right is Dan. Find him at The Dice Bear. How are you doing, guys?
The Dice Bear. Shut down there. What happened?
That's it. How are we doing?
That was it.
The batteries finally ran out, you know.
We good?
Yeah.
Getting by now.
Yeah, getting by.
You mentioned more detail in the pre-show available to patrons. Names scrolling across now. $1 a month. You get about 15 minutes extra, or about half hour.
Yeah, it's usually more than that because we don't shut.
Yeah, sometimes it can go on for far too long.
I'm okay. I'm a little bit annoyed with the world of gaming.
Does that mean you're very annoyed?
Yeah.
You just seem to be seething. It's like right at the
Do you know when you're really angry?
You're not a Diablo fan, are you? Is this what this is about?
Oh no, it's got fuck all to do.
That's pretty bad though.
That is brilliant. I fucking love it.
No, why?
Because it is just the perfect example of a corporate business not having a fucking clue about their clientele.
But then again, don't you also think it's a classic sense of PC gamers just sew up themselves? They make everything.
That's why I love it.
There's a huge part, definitely.
That's why I love it, because they're
so what? They're making a Diablo game for mobile. Don't fucking play it. You're like, but it's got things we asked for on the PC. We'll give them time. They'll bring it to you.
Yeah, probably will.
Because they'll milk you for more cash. That's what it's about. They're companies.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Blizzard are the best at milking. Well, Activision Blizzard. Sorry, let's make sure Activision are on there.
Yeah.
Blizzard used to be cool.
Yeah,
so that's
a long time ago.
You can't say that anymore. It's a long time ago.
I like, the cringe combinations we talked about before. That is like the ultimate. That beats.
What do you guys not have phones? Is the best bit.
Yeah,
it's so uncomfortable.
So I do love the question of, is this some sort of out-of-date April's Fool joke? I just love the balls to stand up and say that.
I saw a picture, and it was a picture of the line of questions, and that guy was the guy behind the guy asking the question, and it said, "Moments before disaster strikes."
Oh, this is so good. Anyway,
but I'll get into my rage when we talk about what we've been playing this week.
Okay.
And we'll move on from there.
Yep.
Shall I go first because it'll be quick?
Go on. Oh, because you don't play anything.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
It's been 2 weeks.
So,
it has. It's been 2 weeks. Yes.
Okay.
But no, I played. AAA wise, I played Battlefield 1 and I played Spider-Man, obviously, because I can't get away from it. And I finished Spectrum Retreat.
Yeah.
Cool.
Saw that.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
I've still not played it. I'm going to play it by the end of the year, but
yeah, it's quite shorter than I thought it was going to be actually.
Yeah.
But obviously, you say it's one dude. Really,
it's one dude, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it has some really good stuff in it. But the last puzzle actually kind of hurt my brain a little bit with the whole the wall changing stuff.
Oh yeah, the flip room.
That took me a while to get used to. I was just like, what? I don't understand. when you first stand on the pad that like flips the perspective, I was like, like stroke time. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I was like, what? Where am I? Why are all the controls wrong?
Yep.
That was it.
And that was it.
I mean, I started downloading. I've downloaded Still Rats, but just can't bring myself to play it.
No,
I've played it.
I will play it. It's just not really good, is it?
I've played it as well.
Yeah.
I'm about.
Go for it.
Should I go next? You want?
Yeah, you go next. I've got a lot.
Let's build up.
Okay, so
I've got a lot.
I've been plugging away at Moonlighter. I really like it.
Still loving it?
Yeah, really like it. Yeah, it's just a game that I'm kind of jumping back. I'm actually going to get it on the Switch, but I'm actually going to hold. I'm not going to play it anymore now because I'm going to get it on the Switch over Christmas. Because then I can be like, I'm spending time with the family.
That's a good idea. Smart move.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Finish
Diablo 3. Oh no, I'm not.
Finish 2064. Read Any Memories.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. It was a nice ending. It wrapped up how I wanted it to. It was.
How long was it in the end?
It's like 8 hours, about 8 hours.
That's not bad.
I enjoyed it. It's a good visual novel, and that's as simply as it is. as I said to you, I was playing it as a bedtime game. I was like playing about an hour before I was going to bed. I was just having the headphones around, not even in my ears, so I could, because it's quite a loud game. The music's cool in it. Yeah, I just kind of really enjoyed it. It was just, it felt like I was watching a sci-fi episodic TV series,
Right,
but I was just, so that's the way I treated it, and I quite liked it.
Probably a better way to do it as well.
Then I played 2 games. I played one game a lot because a review went up this week. It went up slightly later, and there's a reason it went up slightly later, because I'd done it when I spoke to you. I actually went back and changed it because, so Grip's the game I'm talking about, Grip Combat Racing.
I'm eager.
So the reason I changed my review is because I'd only played about 4 races online, because trying to find races online before pre-release was really hard. I was in queues for ages, and then I kind of wrote the review, and I was really, really harsh on the game. And I'll go into why I was harsh on the game. And I was like, okay, I need to give the online more of a benefit to it.
I tell you what, it's the best drinking game you can have.
Really?
Right? So watch the review,
I am gonna
have
watch the review.
some like whiskies or shots or something, and each time he complains about the AI driving, you've got to take a shot. You will be smashed within at the first 30 seconds.
I'll go on to it in a minute. But
That's what he says during the thing. I'm going to go on to the AI driving that's shit in a minute. I'll get on to the shit AI
I actually
later.
said I'll get to the absolutely terrible AI in a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, I was paraphrasing.
So I went back and I ended up playing about 15 races online, and that kind of actually saved the score a bit.
Okay.
It saved it by 1.5. It was sat at a 5. It went to a 6.5 purely because, and it is genuinely excellent racing. Like, there's online is brilliant. It's a lot of fun. It's exactly what I want it to be. Mm-hmm. It's fast paced. It's all over the shot. It's tactical. You need to know when to use your power ups, things like that. The issue is it's a £35 online only racer, because the single player content is not only bad, a grind. Like an absolute grind.
Wow, okay.
So, I mean, I know they're making a spiritual successor to Roll Cage. They don't have to remake a game that's 15 years old. Like, actually bring modern mechanics to the game, please. It feels like...
You know, that's my prerogative.
So the AI, genuinely, absolutely jank. Like, the worst AI I've experienced for a long time.
Wow.
Because, and I say this in the review, because they've used an AI catch-up system, it's so easy to exploit. And that is, you sit mid-pack because you won't be targeted. That always target whoever's in front. You make sure you have a boost in hand, and ideally a shield or a rocket if you need. If you get a shield, there's no way you're going to lose. Halfway around the last lap, drop your shield, drop your boost, you win every single time. Because you're not targeted in the middle of the pack. The AI is not programmed to target you in the middle of the pack. It's targeted to target the person at the front. So races all of a sudden become, oh yeah, cool, now I drop this, wow, look at that. Then because the AI are programmed to catch people up, and that seems like the only program they've had, especially when you're going to arena mode, oh my god, they are as dumb as shit. So there's a power up there, and the AI will go, like straight past you. I'm like, I'll get there then, mate. And then they will drive in a dead straight line in front of you. So I just go, well, there's a rocket up your ass, I'll go past you. There's like, oh my god.
That sounds pretty awful.
I actually reckon Roll Cage had better AI.
It's likely.
Like, I'm not kidding. And it's a shame, because visually, very nice. They do a good job of the aesthetics of when you're travelling at like 300 miles an hour, the screen's like very narrow in, and it feels tight. I actually like the handling, although it's a lot more sim than I expected it to be. Like, for a game called Grip, you don't grip much at all. Yeah, you go on the ceiling, but when you go around the corner, you kick the back end out quite easy.
Yeah.
So I actually like the handling, because I was like, oh, this is a new mechanic to get over. The cars are cool, but then again, there's a really weird thing where like not each car, most cars have got like 5 levels, and you unlock them by going further through the game. But they don't change. I don't know why they're 5 levels. They're exactly the same visually. You can apply exact same graphics and rims to them. The stats don't change. There is absolutely, and I even said in a review, there's literally no point to have them in the game. Like so the progression system is instantly gone. What's the point of progressing when I've got nothing to unlock? And you're the tournaments, the races are just a case of here's a regular race, here's an ultimate race, here's an arena race. Ultimate races have a nice idea, very poorly executed. Ultimate races where you get points by doing jumps, and by shooting weapons at enemies, and by the place you finish at the end of each lap. That's the issue with it. Because if I finish 30, I could not hit anyone. I could not do any jumps. But if I finish first every lap, I'm going to finish first anyway because the amount of points it gives me.
Oh, it's fucking Quidditch.
So what's
Get the snitch, you win.
So what's
Not
the point
necessarily.
of me doing...
Oh, only if the people behind you manage to score 150 fucking points.
It happened in the Quidditch World Cup, okay?
But,
Yeah, once in the thousands of games of Quidditch played.
so yeah, that's the issues with...
I can't believe we're having a Harry Potter argument.
The
That is
Quidditch
fucking,
argument, not Harry
that is
Potter
fucking
I'm not going to
wrong.
go...
We're like sports fans.
I'm not going to sit here and go on for ages about grip, but those are people who haven't seen the review. That's where it's gone, okay? I mean, I've watched reviews since then. As we always say we do.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen 9. I've seen a 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I've
seen people go on. I've seen one person say the AI is amazing because it makes it hard. It makes it hard because you have never played a racer and you sit at front because you think you're good, and you get smashed to pieces because you've got 9 other people programmed to target you because that's what they're programmed to do. So actually maybe play more games, have more of a context, and then come back.
This is the Angry
it.
Podcast.
This is the Angry Podcast, like it.
Oh,
I
honestly,
got angry about something now.
have you seen other reviews about it?
I have seen other reviews about it, and
Are they that positive?
lots of them are very positive. Lots of them are very positive about the game. They are very much a case of, no, this is brilliant. They talk about how great the racing is. I think I've seen one that said that that wasn't overly positive about the whole thing. They said it was very good. None of them mentioned the AI.
Because they haven't got a fucking clue.
The one that did mention was the fact that you didn't really get any upgrades to your vehicles. That your vehicle is as it is through as you go through, and that was it.
It's just why people are just so. I'm not a game developer at all. Okay.
Yeah,
If
we know.
if I'm gonna put the responsibility of critiquing a video game,
Yeah.
I need to have a basic understanding of how they work. Agreed?
Agreed. I think, to be fair though, you have a very good knowledge of racing games in particular. Like I wouldn't have picked up on some of the things you picked up on because I'm not really into racing games at all.
Yeah, but you played Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario
So
Kart
you
has
get
a
the
mechanic.
idea.
But I don't play Mario
You'd be
Kart.
like, oh,
Nobody
that's
plays Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
That's the
mechanic.
issue, like-
what really bad
Yeah.
loses to small kids at the
But that's the issue. People I've had people say to me, but this mechanics, like the guy from my production said it at EGX Race, but the mechanics in Mario Kart. I said, yeah, but I don't play Mario Kart for single player. I've played it with 4 friends on a sofa.
Yeah.
That's why Mario Kart's good. This is a
Does it not have split screen?
yeah, it's split screen, and I say in the
Yeah, we
review,
played it. You guys played
Yeah,
it.
we
Split screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I was next
I
to
don't
you
know, I haven't
playing
played it.
It's
against
got up to
others.
4 player
Oh,
split
right.
screen on the Switch, and I say in the review, I have not played a game on the Switch, but I can imagine racing against 3 other friends on the go would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I say that because the multiplayer / online side it's the game at its full potential. I even use some cheese line that this is where grip shows its real horsepower, because it's its full potential. But unfortunately, I'm not paying £35 for an online only game.
So if it's a discount, then it's worth buying.
No,
No. Okay. Fine.
because the player base will go
Fuck it. Fuck grip.
like that, and in 4 months' time, people won't be playing it online.
No.
So
Go on. What else you been playing?
Still
You
rats.
spend an hour on that one.
yeah, I know. I went on.
Fucking hell.
Remember his I don't talk about for ages.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it for ages. You don't shut him up.
Yeah, still rats.
We should,
Well,
we should
I was-
have a
I
little
was
leg timer.
I was grumpy
Followers.
about grip because I was looking
Yeah.
forward to it, and they said to me they'd made some changes. Fucking wankers.
Lies.
Yeah, no more games from them.
Just
God.
Yeah.
Sure,
Anyway,
white guys will be happy.
Still rats.
still rats. Now I'm a bit mixed on this one because I've played it for about 4 hours. I feel
Wow, okay, good for
close
you.
to the end. I have moments like half-hour sections, and I'm like, that was really cool. Actually, quite enjoyed that. Like, but then I have half an hour, and I'm like, I'm a bit bored now. Like,
I think
can
That's
I
how I
do
felt
something?
at
So
EGX.
before we go into that, for anyone who doesn't know, let's put this into context. We
Okay.
played this at EGX Res.
all 3 of us did.
We
yeah.
at least we tried to play this at EGX Res. When we sat down to play, the person there helping us out, helping to show it, took the controller off us, played the game
Several
for us.
times.
Several times. So we didn't get to play it.
Yeah, the
So
Denver was next to you, couldn't do it.
I've sat down and played this as well because they sent me a copy. I was quite clear that I wasn't going to review it. That was one of your guys' jobs. I thought it was your job
No,
to do.
I was going to review it, but because I went back and played more games on grip, and
you didn't get round
the
to it.
keys got really late. They said they were coming on a certain date, and they came in like 4 days later. So I was like,
Yeah, so he didn't do the review. So, but just going to cut you off right there before it ends in the fucking ramble about codes. So we had pretty shit feelings about the game when we came away. Not because of the game, but more to do with the experience of getting to play it.
Yeah.
The game wasn't amazing
so,
when we played it, but it really was. I came away feeling more about the fact that some tart kept taking the fucking controller.
I felt like there was a potential there. Like,
Yeah.
I felt what I saw. I was like, I could see maybe there's something to go on with it.
It just felt okay, and the dev that I was talking to just seemed really too enthusiastic about it. That makes sense. Like he was talking about it like it was, a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So sitting down to play it for the first time after having that experience was actually really quite nice. It was a moment of, oh, hang on.
You can do stunts, actually.
You can do
actually do stunts, yeah.
You can do stunts. Some of the graphics are quite nice. I like the cutscenes into it.
Yeah.
Some of the bosses you run away from.
Bosses are pretty cool.
They're good fun. You're like, oh, hang on. There may be a game here. And then they fuck it up in the basics. For me.
Yeah, I know exactly what you were going to say.
So, there are 2 lanes you drive on. So you're going across the road. There's a back and a front that you can go between as you're busy cutting them up. Right? But it's very much like if anyone who's played the classic Streets of Rage of that lot, you actually know there's
You'll see it now,
lane.
because I'll put my opening gameplay up there. I've got like
brilliant.
half an hour opening gameplay.
So you'll see up there, there's actually more. There's an in-between, but your bike doesn't do the in-between. It does the back, it does the front, and it does a small wiggle that then drives you back into the middle of that lane. So you can have monsters coming down in the back lane in 3 different positions. But you're not going to hit them because you can only hit the middle one.
It's like Rocky.
Yet they can hit you.
Hit the one in the middle. Yeah,
I need to watch Rocky.
You do need to watch Rocky.
There's 3 of them out there. Hit the one in the middle.
The more I live, the more people are referencing Rocky around me. It's getting really frustrating. Cool.
But it's just really annoying, and not because it makes it too difficult or you're not blah blah. You're not doing that lot. You're just like this. This is weak. This is lax.
Do you know what? I think I'm partly enjoying a game?
Go on.
Because I'm normally the kind of gamer, so it's very arcadey in terms of every level.
That's an arcade game.
Every level has 3 tick boxes, and there's like an easy, medium, hard. You get them, you get points, and you get to buy unlockable things like skins and upgrades and abilities. Right. Normally, I'm like, we'll replay levels to tick all 3 boxes and won't move on. For some bizarre reason, I made the conscious decision very early on in this game just to go, I'm just going to play through the game.
That's because
and I think that's partly
it's not
why
exciting enough
I'm not
to
like
make you want to do it.
I'm not trying to get all the enemies. I'm just driving past half of them, going, "Hi guys, toodaloo."
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Well, when I got to play a little bit.
So I mean, it's all right, but it just doesn't. It doesn't have that thing that grips you.
Nice
so my biggest thing that I would like to see more of in it, the stuff I like most in it, is the actual platforming. There's some quite cool platforming sections where you grip to like the steel pipes and you have to go up and you have to jump and you have to spin your bike in the air and like effectively do like a flare trick to land the right way to carry on going while there's like one part where the ceiling's coming down. I think there's another part where the water's coming up. And it's like time-based. It's very old school. But on a motorbike, I've never done it on a motorbike before. And it feels quite cool and I like that. And the platforming works well. There's not enough of it though. It just most of the time you're just driving along, just constantly doing a wheelie. Like literally, I'm just driving along doing a wheelie. Yeah, just the whole time doing a wheelie.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, I don't hate the game at all. But the big thing for me was the other night. So I played like 2 hours, and then I was like, okay, I need to go back and play. I want to go back and play some more Still Rats for the podcast. But I sat down and I wasn't like, I want to play more Still Rats.
No,
that was the big thing. I felt obliged to play more Still Rats, and I probably should. And I'm so there's 4 islands. I'm like at the end of the 3rd island, so I reckon I'm quite close to the end now. But the bosses are quite good fun.
Yeah.
Have you got the dash mechanic working now?
No.
This works fine for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work on mine.
Because you said it, and I was like, oh, it works.
Yeah, it doesn't work on mine.
How did you get past some of the stuff? Because some of the stuff.
Because if you change to the lighter bikes, you can jump further.
Ah, okay. Because some of the stuff I was
so basically, I was changing to the woman you get at the very start, who's lighter, so therefore can travel further, which is quite nice.
Is that a woman? I thought it was a dude.
No, the first one's a woman.
I thought it was a dude.
Even I know that. I mean, I remember that from the demo.
But that's quite nice. The different characters and how they have different effects on it is nice. There are nice bits to it, but it's like you said. I never felt like, I really want to play more. I never.
Yeah.
And this irritating mechanic of I'm going to have a front lane and a back lane, but I can't actually manipulate my way through it. Why bother?
But I think if you take away the lanes, there's lots of elements in the game, especially as you go further into it, that not puzzles, the platform elements that require you to jump between lanes while you're jumping.
No, I'm all good with them having 2 lanes, but keep the monsters in the same fucking place on the lane.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, what was it? Viking Squad came out 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was a side-scrolling fighting game. There were 4 in that one.
4 lanes.
4 lanes. The monsters came in those 4 lanes. You jump between the 4 lanes. You hit them. It was a good fun game. It was very much like Golden Axe or something like that, except instead of having the monsters that would be part way between, you're busy punching what you think's there, but they're in that slight different lane. It had them in the same lane, which made it quite good fun. But this has kind of ignored that and gone, no, we'll have them run beside you.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I can't hit that one. What the fuck is the...
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're going to have to... Oh, fuck it. I can't be arsed. And that's how you feel with it. You're like, I could push for it, but...
I mean, the story's as generic as they come.
Yeah.
It, like you said, the switching between characters is nice. Buying new abilities is nice. Each character's ability genuinely feels different.
Yep.
Which is quite nice. They're not like a little slight modification on them. Tearing through it. I actually quite like the visuals. They're not like polished and crisp, but I just quite like the I don't know why. It suits what it's going for, and I quite like that.
I had that really cool cinematic trailer before GX.
Yeah, see, that was such a good trailer. That's the one I saw. And I was
interesting
like,
looking.
that's immense.
Like,
the soundtrack as well, that 50s sort of rock and roll.
It was really cool. And then when I saw the game, and I was like,
but yeah.
But I probably should give it a go, shouldn't I?
Anything else to add on?
To Still Rats, that it's all right. How much is it?
It's like 12, 13.50.
Oh, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. You make it sound better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I'd probably do that for 13.50. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna finish it. I'll play through it. I'm not like I must play through this game, but I'll just plug away at it. And, but I'm hard. I get twitchy if I start a game and don't finish it. I'm like, it's on my homepage.
I just get a pang of guilt for about a week, and I'm over it.
See, I don't feel any guilt.
You know,
because usually if I don't finish a game, it's because I got bored.
Oh wow!
And if I get bored, well then that's.
But
sometimes I just take
that's
the discount.
their problem. Not
even
mine.
when I'm bored,
if I take the discount, then I just don't. Then I can't log back in. So.
Even when I'm bored, I still feel like I have to play the game. I'm like, I want to see how it finishes.
I can't do that. I tried that. Missing Final Fantasy 13. I was so fucking bored playing that, and I really want to see the story.
It's a perfectly fine game.
I really want to see the story, but I got
60 hours in.
bored playing.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine game. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst Final Fantasy game. But
what is quickly?
Final Fantasy probably 11, the first MMO. I didn't like that.
Okay, well, it's MMO, but
yeah. 14 was an MMO, very good, and it's had a good crossover with 15. But should we go on some news?
We should get off that.
Are we going to do my bit?
I was about to say, you know, that is bit.
Sorry, God.
No, it was yours, mate.
Yeah.
Stand the fucker.
He's having a rant,
Fucking
isn't he? I'm looking forward to this.
Look,
he's got his little bit of paper.
This is how it always works with Lewis. Lewis talks for an hour and then forgets that
I'm
actually
telling you, we
three
need
of us
a leg timer
to stop him chuntering.
Well, if
I
he's
take-
talking for too long,
I take his because he doesn't ever play.
Yeah, no, that is a fair point.
So-
Yeah.
Fuck you, I play something.
So,
It's not very many.
it
You
actually-
play too much of anything.
It actually links on to Lewis's in a
good,
way,
good.
in my frustration. So I've actually played a shit ton of games over the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mainly because my computer's been down, so I've been able to play, but also I got hold of the Game Pass. I gave Game Pass a go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I got to play Victor Varan, which was a great game. Really enjoyed it. I'm not slating that one at all. I actually really
Well,
enjoyed that
Production's
one.
doing a good job there with them.
Yeah. I played Inner Space, which you know what? I didn't enjoy the game. It's a flying game where you've got to explore and collect bits, but it's in this overworld. It's very hard to look at.
It's drama studio, like drama student.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it doesn't quite work, but at least they're trying something, right? And this is what's really pissed me off this week.
Here we go.
Really fucking frustrated me because I played Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, I played 2 hours of that.
Yeah, so you played. Well done.
I did.
Yeah, you've had your turn. Shut up. Right, so we played Call of Cthulhu. I played Avon Colony.
Right.
I played Still Rats, obviously, which we talked about, and Skyscrapers. They're the ones I'm really going to talk about. I played other ones, Dead by Daylight, that we played, and Friday the 13th.
I was being.
It was fucking hilarious. But the thing is, Call of Cthulhu, because I haven't got the review up, I'll say it's a perfectly alright game. It's a narrative adventure. So to start off with, it's a game I should hate. Because I cannot stand narrative adventures. Because they're slow, they're boring, they're like, oh, we're going to make you read. And it's like, well, if you're going to make me read, write a fucking book.
Yep.
You know, let's make something interesting, develop it, move it with pace. You know, Hellblade did an amazing job of doing a narrative adventure in a way. It had the attacks in there, but really it was about the story.
Yeah.
It was the sound. Call of Cthulhu made a perfectly reasonable narrative adventure. As in, there was good pace to it.
Yep.
It was quite creepy at points. There were some nice aesthetic choices, especially between the men and the women in there. So men are all scarred and haggard, whereas the women are more porcelain looking.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of creepy and nice. And it does play off the whole RPG Call of Cthulhu game, which it was okay.
Did you find you enjoyed it, or you said it's okay, but had enjoyment for it because you have experience with the Lovecraftian stuff in the past? Because I'll be honest, I found the first 2 hours extremely boring. I was like, that's not scary.
It probably would help.
This is cliche. This is the very obvious
He
horror
invented
setting.
cliches, though.
Yes.
So, yeah,
See,
I
this
was
is
just
the
moving
problem.
through.
Everything that you're used to comes from a lot of the Lovecraftian world. Okay. Not all of it. And no, I haven't actually played the RPG.
Okay.
I do know the world of Lovecraft and the whole Call of Cthulhu thing because there are a lot of board games I played. The Arkham Horrors, Elder Sign, all of that lot are based within this world.
Yeah.
And it tells the story. Lovecraft and Call of Cthulhu isn't a horror game.
Okay.
It should be, and everything you play should be a psychological torment. Yeah. It should be crushing you mentally. Okay. You know, so the whole boring start where you are stood there in your office for ages going, come on, just get me to the fucking island. And then you get to the island and you say, well, actually it starts with a flashback and you're like, oh, that's creepy. What's going on? And you see, you know, cultists and bits like that. And then you wake up, oh, it was a dream. And Cthulhu's about playing with that idea of what's reality, what's a dream.
Okay.
And it never manages to do that.
Oh.
Throughout the game,
Okay.
there are moments where, so at one point you've been down into this base part. This will be further on than you are. Yeah. You see them doing a ritual. You try and escape after watching a policeman killed, and you get trapped in rocks. Mm-hmm. You then wake up in a hospital, and the policeman there, he's fine, and you're like, they're really going to play with this. They're going to play with the idea of what did you really see? No, they don't. They don't bother with that. And you're like, okay, fine. So the other thing that's really important in any horror genre is the fear of death. You should be terrified of being caught. You should be terrified of dying. And in this game, because you don't know what to do, it never tells you what to do. You've got to hunt and explore and find bits to figure out clues that are never explained to you. So it's difficult. But when you die, you're just like, oh well. And on you go. There's a point where you face off against the Shambler, which is this big beast that comes out of a painting. And you're like, oh fuck, you're in this small art room and you've got to run around and you've got to basically collect a dagger and, spoilers, but fuck it, you've got to destroy the painting. Now there are a shitload of daggers in there. You don't know which one to use. You don't even know that you need a dagger to destroy the painting.
Okay.
So you go in there, you get a dagger and you're like, well, I've got a fucking dagger, I'm going to do this demon in. Come on, fuckhead, let's do this. Right? He kills you. You die, then you respawn at the start. And then you go and find another dagger, or you find another, he catches you. You die, you start again. It completely destroys the whole fear of death, because you're like, well,
there's no consequence.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Which in Hellblade, they dealt with the idea of, well, actually, there's a full wipe. You're going to lose everything. You're going to go back to the start.
Was a genius.
They
idea.
also played with, as you went further on, the blackness crawled up your arm. And this is what Cthulhu's about. Yeah, it was genius. It was so clever. But you've got to remember, Cthulhu's come out, what, a year and a bit later?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Why are they not looking at other deaths? I understand that the processing time of making a game is huge.
Yeah.
Right? It takes ages to make a game. But this is Cyanide Studios and Focus Home Interactive. These guys pump out games like... You never feel scared.
That was the issue with Island Isolation, wasn't it? Yeah. Like when you first saw the alien, you're like... And the first couple of animations, because they're always different animation death scenes. But then when you go, oh, I've seen that animation death scene. Oh, I just restarted this checkpoint. Yeah. The game becomes flawed because you're just like, I don't care. I'm not scared of the alien anymore.
Yeah, so. And that's it. And I don't understand why they don't play with the sanity bit. We talked about Eternal Darkness last time as one of my top games on the GameCube, and in that they fucked with the fourth dimension. They made you think that your GameCube had broken. They did all of that. Why the fuck didn't they do that in Call of Cthulhu?
I think
if you've got a point where you die, why aren't they playing with the it's crashed, or you're back at this point, or really fuck with your mind because you're supposed to lose sanity. Wipe your hard drive. That'd be fucking hilarious.
That'd be nightmare, but that'd be really scary. But it's like you're saying that they're not. Why they're not looking at other devs? I think they're looking at the wrong devs. I mean, they're not looking at these innovative horror creations. They're looking at
what's generic. Let's go out there.
You die in Call of Duty, you respawn at the 2 minutes away.
But it then brings me to everything I've played, and I go for this year, like Skyscrapers, have been generic, non-pushing boundaries of anything. And the beauty of indie games, and the thing I've always loved about indie games, is you've got developers out there going, you know what, I can take a risk.
Yeah.
I can go out there and do something. I can go and do something crazy. I can make a game about a unicorn, someone being eaten by a unicorn and then having to decide whether to go out its arse or its mouth. This is what you can do as an indie developer, but instead you're sitting there making generic, safe, boring games that you're just like... Exactly.
Yeah, it's not.
And Call of Cthulhu's £35. Skyscrapers, which is a generic fighter where you're running up from buildings falling down above, which makes no sense. Where the fuck are these pieces of buildings going on? The background is a perfectly fine pagoda. Where the fuck are steel bars and doors coming from?
What the fuck is a pagoda?
It's a Japanese building.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck's a pagoda?
But anyway, so
these
things you're falling down. All these things are falling down that have nothing to do with what's there. And the fighting system is, well, you just ground pound or you run up.
Always ground pound.
Always ground pound. That's
Always
what you
ground
do.
pound.
And I'm just sitting there frustrated.
Avon Colony. I'm not playing
Avon Colony. Avon Colony is a perfectly reasonable game that is made for PC. It's made to be played on PC. The controllers don't work with the game. You sit there with the controller, they've mapped their buttons in all the wrong places, overly confused, and you're sitting there going, this is a game for mouse and keyboard.
Your brother replied about Halo Wars. You were like, why the fuck did he play it on PC?
Yeah.
It's designed for it. And he was like, I didn't buy an Xbox because I...
Yeah, no, I spoke to him during the week. Called him a twat then as well, so he'll be seeing this.
He does watch, actually. He does watch.
He does.
There was another game you mentioned that I was like, what did you think to that? And that was...
What's that? Go on.
It's not, I'm just seeing it. Trivial Pursuit Live.
Oh my fucking Christ.
Wait.
But they're not indie games.
I know.
They're not indie games.
I just love the idea of there's like Gears of War, Halo 5, like already on the Game Pass, and Dan's like, fucking Trivial Pursuit Live, load that shit straight away.
I play new games, mate. I mean, you can sit and play games I've already played.
Is it live?
Is it live?
That's like an online feature.
No, but is it live? Like, there is an actual presenter there going like,
no,
we're live now in the studio?
No, and all the questions are American.
Okay.
So you'd be sitting there and it would be like, was
it good?
One of the best ones was, history question. And this to me just summed up, my parents always used to make the jokes that that history was the easiest subject to do in America because they have none. Right?
Yeah, good point.
And the question in the history question was, who's Richard Gere's son? That was a fucking history question.
What?
Who is Richard Gere's son?
That's pop culture?
In what film?
In what film? Yeah. Well, I just sat there going, well, one, that's not a history question, and two, I don't fucking know.
Just movies?
That maybe.
Like there wouldn't be a history question in any way.
There was a time when the only time I played Trivial Pursuit properly was when I think we were skiing or something ages ago, and someone dragged it out. It was like 1982 edition or something like that.
Yeah.
So like you literally,
that sounds way more fun.
It's like, who played leads? Who plays the lead in Emmerdale? You're like, well, fucking no. Like, what the 82? Was it even around then? Like,
that's good shit.
Which politician said these words? You're like literally everything was a guess.
It's so it's got to be, isn't it?
But that's what this was like. Sorry, Trivial Pursuit, and then there was Risk, which was so dull.
Good? No, well, I mean,
like Risk.
No, Risk is a great game.
I get Risk. I get bored of Risk.
I get bored. It's just so long.
Yeah, that is it.
It does take a hell of a long time.
That's what I get.
I get to the point.
I'll bring Lord of the Rings Risk round. I've got
the same as Monopoly.
It's got the
though,
one ring in it as well. Yeah.
I start Monopoly or a game of Risk. Such good intentions. Like, it's gonna be so good. I'm so good.
Yeah.
2 hours in, and I'm like,
Can't be
whose
fucked
go is it
anymore.
now?
It's like, yeah,
5
all
hours
my
in.
troops attack whoever's next to me. Yeah, I don't
Just
care.
kill me!
End this suffering.
But Risk is even worse than playing the real board game. Then
Oh god.
it's
How
so
How
boring.
possible? Sure, is there no like fast button?
No, well, there may be, but as you sit there, basically, it does the classic things that these games like to do, where they'll show you a roll of a dice,
Yes.
and when you want to increase the difficulty, instead of the AI getting better at where they place
Just
them,
nerfs the
they
dice.
nerf the dice. And you're like, that's not the game harder. That's just they're not dice.
That's just cheating.
Yeah.
No weighted dice. No weighted dice in my video game. Thank you very much.
But it summed up the year for me. These games and sitting down and playing. Apart from Victor Vran, which I really did enjoy. I thought that was a really
Have you
good
played
game.
through all of it? Or?
I haven't played through all of it. No,
You've done the
because I
Motorhead
keep
stuff?
going back and no, I don't have it.
Oh, is it not on the Game
It's
Pass?
not on the Game
That's
Pass.
the-
No. And I'm not continuing Game Pass either.
You're
Well,
not.
you have the Motorhead edition here, don't we?
On
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But it summed up my whole year of indie games so far. Is that they've all done okay games. No one's really pushed the envelope of anything. I haven't sat down and played a game where I've gone, that's an indie game. That's someone who's gone, here's a concept that I've come up with and I want to do. This is how I think gaming.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's
Game of the
shit.
year is going to be hard.
Yeah. I don't care if...
I mean, there's been some great indies, but innovative indies, not so many.
In a space,
I tried something new.
I didn't enjoy, but at least they tried something new. So for me, that will rank higher
Yeah.
than Call of Cthulhu and things like that because they're doing something.
Well, maybe a game
And that's the point of indie
we're going to
games.
mention in the news, but it's not coming out until next year. We
What's
might
that?
do that. Well, a game we're going to mention in the news, but maybe it looks to be quite
yes.
innovative, but we'll give it a go. Should we go
Anyway,
on, should we go on to news?
fucking innovative twats.
Oh, there you go.
Let's go on to a news, shall we?
Let's do the news.
Okay.
Yay.
Can
do the button?
Nah, you got loads.
Are we
of
good?
time. Yeah. Okay, so we kick off. There's not loads of news this week, but we kick off with
know.
Escape Doodleland. Escape Doodleland is a game that was on Kickstarter a little while ago. We recommended it when we used to do our Kickstarter recommendation lists. It's a pretty quirky kind of 2.5D-ish cartoon drawing platforming game where you're running away from this weird pink worm that's kind of coming at you, trying to eat you.
Could be a worm.
You see now the trailer as it says
Oh, that's a worm.
the game, the aesthetics are they're doodles. That's effectively what you do.
Yeah.
And the characters you unlock are called doodles, and you play as different kinds of doodles, and I think you can change their
Are there
hats, their
doodles in the
costumes.
game?
There are loads of doodles
Yeah.
in the game.
Good.
But it's got a release date, which is always nice because a game that's been kickstarted, it's always knows that it's actually getting a release date. 30th of November is coming to Nintendo Switch and Steam. It's been developed by Sonka and Cubic Games, both. Do you want to go over there for development and publishing?
Kunka.
Yeah. Next up, a game that I'm really excited about. Game I'm really excited about. Do you remember Greece?
Yeah.
It's the word, isn't it?
Sorry.
It's his type of joke, and he didn't get it.
Greece is the word, it's the West, it's the feeling.
No.
I think you guys are making it up. Greece
I
is
made all that up.
Greece is a kind of a watercolor style puzzle narrative game. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
The isometric
I remember
one.
the
that's
name more because I think
very.
we jokes last
There you
time.
go.
Yeah,
looks
we
like
did.
that. There you go. That's what it looks like. Okay.
Yes, I do remember.
Very arty game.
Very arty. Devolver
Yeah.
Digital put a name to it, which we were all shocked about because it's not their, it doesn't seem like their kind of.
But that means it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Who'll be
And
pushing the boundaries in some way.
I thought
Or he's playing with concepts.
honestly when it first got announced,
Fucking idiot.
well, it was first announced. It was only about 6 weeks ago. I was expecting it to be 2019 game. It was only just like, oh, this is a new game we're making, and I was like, oh, that's miles away. No, it's coming on 13th of December to again Switch and PC. PlayStation, well, no doubt it will come to other consoles later on. Devolver normally bring stuff other places. But yeah, I really like the look of the game.
Yeah, it's a very
This
good
is the
looking
one
game.
that we say is like 2D Journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what we
That's
said.
what it looked like. It looked like, yeah. No, I think that does look really good.
Yeah.
The trailer I've seen, obviously you can't hear the audio there. Music sounds very emotive. It sounds like it's trying to kind of swell you up. and yeah, it's just
not
nice.
trying too hard, and I'm not that.
And what I like about it is, I mean, I've read this magazine with a full feature in it of the game. It's still very shady on what the actual game is, which I quite like. I like jumping in. Well, you know, they know that it's a puzzle narrative puzzle game. You know that, but they're not like, you go here and do this, you're doing this to do this the story, you're trying to, like, I don't know what I'm doing as a puzzle, I don't know where my narrative's going, but I quite like that, because I like going into a game not knowing anything and being like, ooh, look at this. Yeah, but Greece coming to Nintendo Switch PC on the 13th of December. Next up, this game is the one I think looks very innovative. It looks really cool. Do you remember it? Soundfall. Soundfall was the rhythmic dungeon crawler. Do you remember it had the equalizer bars bouncing up on the side, and it was all very vibrant colour, and you have to attack and defeat enemies to music, and we're all trying to work out what the hell that means. Is it a rhythm game? Is it but it sounds cool. It's been made by Drastic Games, who are made up of Epic veterans. They probably got fed up of being asked to make one game.
Almost definitely.
Fuck this. Yeah, we actually can make some innovative stuff. Let's go and make this. Well, it had a funding campaign on Fig, which is similar to Kickstarter. And it hits £55,000 funding, $1,000 funding goal, which means we can expect to get the game in 2019.
Nice.
On all consoles.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks cool. I really like
coming to PlayStation.
I really like the look.
Place I can play.
I really like.
Not that he will.
I will if I get code.
Put a Spider-Man skin in there, and he'll do it.
To be fair, you put Spider-Man in there.
You want to play the code? You got a key for Still Rats.
I downloaded it.
But you haven't played it.
I will. I'm working on it.
And the final piece of news, I feel you'd be excited by this one. Path of Exile.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Path of Exile, the pretty deep, dark RPG game. It's coming to PlayStation. Sorry, it's coming to other consoles. Yeah,
it's like 2 other things first. It's coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
The press release is weird. It's coming to PlayStation in December 18. Coming to other consoles in December 18. That was like,
well, there you go.
Okay. Why have you signalled out PlayStation? Maybe it might be a week early. I don't know, whatever.
Maybe PlayStation has something on that. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's for those who don't know what Path of Exile is, it's been a PC game for quite a while now, I think. But it's a very expansive RPG that's crafted in there. It's got MMO elements. It's not an MMO. It is an RPG, but it's got MMO elements in terms of you can join up online and go on raids and go on adventures with other people.
Is it dungeon crawler sort of thing?
Yeah, more dungeon crawler style.
Okay.
It reminds me a lot of the original Divinity Original Sin in terms of its visual presentation and things like that. It's meant to be a huge game, and it's free to play. There you go, even better. Completely free to play.
Can't complain.
You cannot complain. Literally nothing to complain about.
Dan definitely could.
I have no problems with free to play games. As long as their microtransactions don't affect gameplay. But that's only for competitive ones.
Well, have you heard?
So
Their press release was hilarious. Literally ripped the shit out of pay to win.
Really?
Yeah.
Free to play, not fucking pay to win. Literally said that in the press release. I was like, oh, that's so good.
That's good shit.
And they referenced it a few times. Like,
who the devs?
No, I haven't written it down.
I've made you look silly, haven't I?
Yeah, you have.
I do apologise.
You have a little bit. That's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. You won't see Tom next week.
Whoa.
So,
not that he's fine. He'd just be dead.
But that is it. There's only 4 news stories this week. The news is going to really start dying down now.
Yeah, we're heading towards Christmas.
Next week will be an interesting one because the main section will be similar to what we done a couple of weeks ago when we spoke about the golden joystick, because I think the Monday, so about this day this goes live, the Game of the Year awards are announcing the nominee lists.
Ooh.
So
I get to pretend I give a shit about those.
So yeah, and they always have a few indie categories. Who developed A Way Out? Because I like the guy who got really drunk. Do you remember? He was live on Thingy and he took the microphone off it. He was absolutely and he was bitching out the Oscars. But like the Oscars are a bunch of wankers. That's why I prefer these shows here, and it was fucking hilarious.
That's good.
But yeah, anyway, so that's what we're doing next week. But our main topic this week.
I've been looking forward to this.
Let's go into it. So,
meat of the episode. Do I need to
No, let's go into it. We'll go straight into it. So I took pictures and there's a few pictures. There's 5 overall.
Whoa!
So this came off our last
Is this
episode.
underneath the YouTube video?
Yeah. Look, there's this.
Foreign user.
Fucking hell,
Shitting
mate.
out. He's written an essay.
So, foreign user.
Here we go.
I don't actually know his full name. He hasn't told me his full name. That's
foreign
fine.
user.
He's a foreign user. That's good
He
enough.
doesn't have to use us.
Foreign user.
Yeah, okay. He's from America.
Foreign user.
Yeehaw!
So,
Hey!
what?
It's a cowboy thing.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
cowboy shit.
So
Slap the old
this
knee.
came off our episode where we spoke about the ultimate game of the year. So we spoke about what's going to win ultimate game of the year. That X category that came about that was like ultimate game of the year. Ultimate. So that came off that, and he kind of went into a full. I was like, oh my god, this is still going. So this is a
Go for it. Let's go.
Anyone
for
who
it.
watches these or listens to these will know Dan can rant. I mean, we can all rant, but Dan can really
Dan
rant.
can really go on.
This is a full-on Dan
Ours
rant.
are more emotive, I think.
So, viewers, apologies, I'm going to be looking at my phone to read this out. So, he says, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to win because of the hype. I can't scroll through my Reddit or YouTube subs without Red Dead Redemption 2 controlling the narrative like a plague. It's so damn bothersome.
Yes.
Go on the gaming suggestions subreddit. It is the saddest thing in the world. People going on there to ask suggestions to what to play based on their personal preferences or quirks. When you look at the comments, at least 80 to 90% of them are suggesting AAA games. The world of gaming is still mostly controlled by in a big way by AAA publishers. Unless you spend over $100 million on a game, you don't even get acknowledged or noticed by a majority of gamers.
Yep.
I continue. Keep in mind these gamers are even bothering to go onto Reddit to talk about gaming. Imagine the iron grip of AAA on the average carefree gamer who just looks in storefront to be told what they should be buying or playing.
Yep.
Gaming is in a great place as far as its releases because we have some awesome and totally amazing games from both indie scene and AAA scene. I will admit that. The issue here is that most people are so enchanted with marketing, graphics, and scope that they completely ignore and don't even know anything beyond a AAA game. In my opinion, which anyone is free to disagree with, is that any gamer who spends $60 to $100 on a new AAA release just because it's the newest or biggest thing is a person who doesn't realise how many really great games there are, which have been built from a small studio with heart. With a small studio from heart for a much smaller price tag. People act like they're slaves to the industry. I really look down on someone who spends that kind of money on a release immediately just because it's the thing to do. I make concessions here for media and journalists, so don't feel bad, guys. So don't feel bad if this is because I understand the importance of having a timely impression on games that people are paying attention to, if nothing else, for catching the hype train in order to siphon viewers. So I replied saying, absolute cracking point. Do you mind if we talk about this in the show?
Yep.
To which he replied saying,
Yes, I fucking do. Don't say my
of course, of course, that's fine. If any of you disagree or see faults in my assertions, then feel free to disagree and even roast my opinions. I'm not a professional by any means, just a gamer who's been in love with games since playing Pitfall on the Atari in the 80s.
Oh, yes!
Then he goes on to say he really respects
love that game.
He really respects our channel. He respects our commitment and dedication to indie titles. And he does finish off with saying, I totally get when there is a really great AAA game out there, it does deserve attention.
Yeah.
So, from that, I read through it and I came up with a couple of points. So, one of his first points was the fact that indie games don't get noticed by gamers. But then, they obviously don't have the budget. And I put Nintendo here because Nintendo are the ones who go, we're so good with the indies. Look, we do everything for indie games.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, have you seen Mario Kart? Have you seen Smash? Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So that's why I put it in there. So do you feel like it is indies? We know indies got an uphill battle. But do you feel like it is as bad as foreign users highlighted?
Well,
Yes.
I think I've got a unique perspective.
Go on,
because obviously coming into...
You don't play indie games.
Well, I do, but coming into Indecredible from the side of not really playing indie games.
Yeah.
So when I read that out, were you like, there's indie games?
I was like, games.
But no, carry on.
But like it was.
Don't interrupt.
Obviously, yeah, Lewis. Obviously, I knew about indie games and I played some indie games, but like not to the extent that you guys knew about them and have played them. And it was like hearing about them week after week after week about all these games coming out and games I should play. It did feel like I was like peering behind this like secret curtain of games that no one knows about that are actually really good. Because some of the indie games I've played over the past like year and a half are some of the best games I've played in a long time. Like with AAA games, I agree there are some amazing AAA games out
Like
there.
Ooblets.
Ooblets isn't AAA, mate.
Yeah.
No, he said some of the indie
Not
games
Out.
I played over.
Oh,
the last-
okay. Sorry, he was finishing with
And I haven't
AAA.
played
You got
Ooblets
to hear the
so-
whole sentence.
Yeah. But Ooblets looks good when you played it. You were having a great time.
Did you not get to play it?
No.
Is
Didn't
it
get
only
a
me and
chance.
him that got to play it?
Yeah. I was with him and he started playing it, and then I was
You
like,
didn't go and play it?
I was talking to the dev for a bit, and then I was like, well, not the dev, the publisher.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, Lewis is just playing this now. So I walked over and stood because you came in, and I just talked to you for a bit.
Okay.
But anyway.
Sorry.
What was I? Yeah.
So you-
there are amazing AAA games out there, and like, but I, especially in recent years, haven't been like gripped by a AAA game in a long time. And Spider-Man is the first one in years that's really got me, like a new game. And but with indie games, I think I've played some amazing games. Like Oxenfree comes to mind. I was blown away by that. I thought it was an incredible game.
Unfortunately, this year, every game I've been really hyped for has been shit.
Indie
game
it's
wise.
not particularly good years.
Past Cure, I was hyped for that.
Yeah, I mean you were beyond
Yeah,
hyped for that.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Grip, hyped for that. Didn't work out very well. Agony, I was really hyped for that. Really didn't work out very well.
Yeah, it's not gone well for you. Is it?
I think that there's a barrier between
Easily, yeah.
indie games and AAA games.
I think it's not like a blurred line. It's
No,
it's
it's a
barrier.
full barrier because of marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always going to make more money from talking about the AAA games. You're always going to get more views from doing the AAA games. The reason Red Dead Redemption 2 is in everything and will be in everything for ages
Rockstar got that mad cash.
because Rockstar got that mad cash, and people that they pay people to do these things.
What's that marketing campaign I saw on Twitter? There was like the most bonkers thing ever. It was like a train line was like marketing Red Dead, and it was something like use our train service to get back to the west quicker or something like that. And it was like mental. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's how far they went with the marketing.
But there's everything. You go look at the books at the moment. There are lots of books you can there's the one I saw was an Assassin's Creed Odyssey one, where the part of its selling was the fact that in the back of the book was a code to download some stuff in your game. Now you're not going to get that with indie games. You're not going to get that sort of product placement within superstores because they can't afford it, and because that's the only way to get. You look at your magazines. But, I mean, this one's slightly different because it is looking at very much video games and indie games.
It's very balanced,
This is wireframe, by the way.
Do you know?
And
do you know who
who knows
publishes
if
this? Do you know who
it's
this
gonna
is?
stick around?
Go on, this is Raspberry Pi's magazine.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, Raspberry Pi's magazine.
well, there you go. That makes sense. So it's for devs. It's for people who enjoy programming and developing.
It's very balanced with news stories, with reviews, and with dev stuff.
But you look at most other ones; they will not mention indie games in them. They won't because there's no money. It's not
From a
got the
marketing
draw.
perspective. There's no point.
Yeah.
It's because you get the loop of these companies put so much money into marketing their game, and then people see the game and they hear about the game, and then public the press write about the game because that draws these people who've seen the marketing in.
Yeah.
And it's just like this endless.
But you know the
loop
whole
of-
thing about Nintendo, isn't it? Like, if you give us a positive review, we'll let you put YouTube content up. Like,
But you've got to pay us a certain amount of money to be part of the
I
Nintendo
hate how
creators.
Nintendo are so creepy behind their Happy Mario mask.
they're like the Santas of the world, aren't they? They're like, come and sit on my knee.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to sneak into your house at night and watch your children sleep. Like, that's the.
Was that Santa or just you, mate? Where are we going?
Who's to say I'm not Santa?
It's
It wouldn't surprise me.
it's a difficult one because I grew up in an age where every game I played was an indie game.
Okay,
We didn't have AAA titles really. You know, I used to be able to buy games made by small dev studios in Woolworths. You'd buy it on tape for a couple of quid, and it'd have a whole load of games on there by small devs. The first time I played Doom was from a disc a mate had copied from it for me
got it from
because
Market
that's
for
how you
£5.
got games. You got games like that. You downloaded them online after 5 hours of waiting for it on the farm.
It's a multi-million-dollar industry.
It's a multi-million-dollar industry, and that game was huge. But everything I played was an indie game, so I was used to the idea that, like I was pissed off about earlier, that there was innovation. There was always something new to play. There was always something different. And then it became very much marketable. They realised there's a shitload of money in it, and they don't want you spending on indie games. So they're not going to promote it. It doesn't help them. And since it's controlled by, 3 or 4 big companies, Ubisoft, Activision, EA, you've got these main companies, they don't want you talking about indie games. No. They don't want people clicking on them because that's money out of their pockets.
And I'd argue the fact that the whole EA Origin, or whatever it is, like they're goodwill, because Unraveled would be made without EA Origins.
I'd put money.
It might be harder. It might have to go over a Kickstarter campaign. It might have to have funding, but the games are not going to get made. Like Cuphead would still be made if Microsoft didn't step in and go, "Don't get me wrong." They probably put the developers in a nice place, which is great, and they gave developers more opportunity. But I think people go, "Oh, look, like aren't Nintendo doing good on indies?" They go a whole showcase to them. The YouTube app on Nintendo is out now on Switch.
Oh yeah.
I was on it. It's fine. It's just a YouTube app. But surely it makes sense to have like a Nindies channel linked to it, like directly on there. Do you not think?
I think people will get annoyed by that. I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't know.
Because the YouTube app's not.
I would put money on that. All of your Idea Xbox and your Origins and all of that lot. I bet they're tax.
Yeah, probably.
It's the same way as when you're rich, you give to charities. Yeah. You give shitloads to charities.
Because it's taxable. It's not
it's tax deductible.
Yeah, exactly.
You get that money back.
Yeah.
So I put money on that this whole indie dev side is some sort of loophole that they've looked into and gone, look, actually it makes us look really fucking good, but we can claim all this back on tax and we get to make the money from selling these. Yeah. And in Xbox's case, finally have some games they can call Xbox exclusives.
It's too late, guys. Give up.
Last generation I had it, the XBLA. That was
360 was a king. Yeah.
All right, so
Super
the next
Meat Boy. That's where when that came up on Xbox. That was an Xbox 360. Super Meat Boy came out on that. I remember the morning of it being released and being like, oh, looking forward to this because I played it on Newgrounds and bits like that. And then finally went onto there and it was there and I played it and I was like, fuck me, this is amazing. This is the greatest game ever made. Spooge everywhere.
I had the same with Geometry Wars. I fucking love Geometry Wars.
Yeah,
such a good game. So in the next point I took from his
that's my point.
essay was a great place. As he said, gaming is in a great place at the moment, both AAA and indie. There's some great indie games releasing. You can't deny. I've dabbled, so I couldn't resist myself. Red Dead's installed on my PlayStation.
I thought you have it.
I couldn't resist myself. I was like, I'm gonna just jump in for 2 hours and just see what it is. Like instantly, I was like, okay, I can appreciate straight away how. I mean, some of the bugs look fucking hilarious, like horses exploding and NPCs being rammed by bears. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
It's just so like they're talking. Do you see some YouTuber got banned because he beat up and then burnt a feminist? He literally, there's a video of him punching a feminist. And then, I think he ties her to some train track and burns her or something like that. Like, you're like, what the fuck? But anyway.
But that's the point of the game.
Their attention to detail is like, straight away I was just like, wow. But I stopped playing it because I was like, this is Christmas. I haven't got time now. Like, I think the first 2 hours I'd done fuck all. Like, so credit has to be given when a good AAA game releases. Like, there's no doubt about it. But so you do think we're in a good place at the moment for AAA and indie?
I do think we are, and the lull we're having in indie games at the moment with their not being experimental. I actually know from being at Res and having played that brilliant cop one I've forgotten the name of.
Flashing Lights?
No, not Flashing Lights. The other one that we all played, the narrative one. Where he chatted up the woman.
Yeah.
And she basically told him to fuck off because he was a creep, and then you had the karaoke bar at the bottom.
That is on the edge of my
Danielle Run is one of the PR people for it.
Disco Elysium
is out next year. So there are great games coming.
No, I think next year's going to be a lot
better.
We
used to chat with women, I was like, I chat up to death?
No, in the game.
I want to fuck you. It's like, what?
You get these, these troughs and highs in anything because you have these because of how they're done. Of course. Okay, so indie games are in a great place. They just need that push. They need that bit more in the marketing world, which is what we hope Nintendo would do with their Nindies, but they're releasing.
Maybe not, but
I do think I've started to put together our 100 indie games releasing in 2019.
Oh yeah,
I started to look at the top 10 indie games to look out for in 2019. There are already like that. I'm struggling. I've got 30 games for that top 10 that I've got to try and narrow down. It's like I could do what other YouTube channels do and go top 10. Another top 10. I'm not. I want to do 10. I want to go really do the research on. Yeah. Like you said, Disco Elysium. Ashen is a game I've been looking at for so long.
Yeah.
Racing Apex, wherever it's flicking.
No, I don't want to play that game. You guys just kept beating me. I want that game so bad. Actually, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah,
I'm defeated in that game.
So I can say this. I can't give any pressure to it. I'm currently playing the new build of Phoenix Point.
Yeah,
that game. Oh my god, I can't wait to play that. Like when it fully releases next year.
It's turn-based.
Yeah, turn-based. Very XCOM style.
Look, I can enjoy it from afar.
Just really far.
But no, there are so many amazing indies. There's 10 times more indie games releasing next year that I'm excited about than AAA. And I mean, you've got Devil May Cry 5 that I'm like...
Yeah.
I can't think of anything next year AAA that I'm looking forward to.
I know one you're definitely after.
Go on, what's that?
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
3.
Is that next year, is it?
It's early. It's like end of January?
Yeah, that's when all the JRPGs and that lot come out.
Yeah,
shit.
they just announced that the Big Hero 6 has got all the voice actors back for that section and like...
Wow.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
I think I'll play a Kingdom Hearts game. I've always wanted to. I'm sure they're great.
Have you still got your PS2?
Yeah, still.
I can let you borrow my
You
King. No,
You could just borrow my PS4 ones if you want. They're all in one place.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that would be easier actually.
Yeah,
You didn't have to hook out
do that.
But yeah.
Don't do it yet because I've got so much to play at the moment. It's
So,
me.
I'm 2018, there's been some good indie games. And like you said, Celeste and Dead Cells, they're not innovative. They're just very tight, good games, what they do.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be innovative every time. As long as it's great. As long as it's fun.
But
as you in there.
Like another game that looks innovative, recently released next year, Untitled Goose Game. I know you were excited by that. Like,
yeah, no, I do like the look of that one.
Running around, like...
There was that other one where we played at Res where you're the crocodile and you've got to go through the small English village eating people.
I watched it. I didn't get to play it.
Yeah. That one as well. It's not innovative, but it's playing with ideas. It's doing something different.
It's too much to ask to have your mind blown every time.
It feels like it's like a hangover game. You know when you go like, what's we developed as our first game? You're like, I don't know, you're playing some kind of twin stick shooter, and you're like, wouldn't it be cool if your only ability in this game was to eat people as a crocodile? And you're like. Yeah!
That's right, actually.
Yeah, 6 months down the line, they're too financially involved. Go, fuck, this isn't really going to work. We've got to see it through, man. We've got to see it through. But no, so the final point from what he said was, now, do you agree that somebody who goes who spends, so in English money, 50 to 65 quid really, depending on where you get it from, on a new game, just because it's the thing to do, is a bit. I'll put here is a dick. Like,
I don't know if dick's the right word.
Under that brief of just because it's the thing to do.
I say it's being
you're
naive.
A dick.
Yeah, it's.
Naive's different than saying it's something you've got to do. You're going out to buy a game because everyone else has told you to do it. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. If I tell you to buy a game, do it. Fucking do it. No,
but yeah.
If I tell you to buy a game, you should then be sitting there going, okay, they voiced their opinions. I'm going to take that opinion on board and then do my own thing. Because don't be a fucking sheep.
You fucking shill.
But a guy at work comes to mind he's a really nice guy. Classic casual gamer. Classic guy.
Buys his FIFAs.
He doesn't buy guy, buys FIFA.
Yeah.
But he sat down and stuff from the other day. Yeah, I was walking in town, mate. I saw that cowboy game. It looks pretty good. Like,
guys,
what do you reckon to that? And I was like, if you've got time, it's apparently amazing. It's a very good game. If you've got time, I said, it's not a game that you can just pick up and play. It's not FIFA that you can play for an hour and put down and not play it for a week. I said, you're going to have to kind of commit to it. And he was like, he actually went and brought it, and he's 10 hours in and he's really enjoying it. He's like, yeah, it's really good. But now he knows that I do this. He is constantly
asking
any good games coming out.
Yeah.
Any good games coming out. And I mentioned, he's like, what's that then? But he's classic. But he is the kind of guy that he will see something. He's the marketer's dream.
Yeah.
Look at this shiny little
I've got Steve at work. He is that guy.
And they go,
yeah.
Look at this! I get to play as a cowboy. Yeah.
Did you see the new thing from Destiny 2? They're adding more microtransactions in.
Well,
they're making it quicker as well to get the microtransactions in there.
That's insane.
Well, they come out and they
In
Activision
the
come out.
current climate of video games as well.
Yeah.
that's such a
Activision
stupid
come
idea.
out. Was it today or yesterday? And said that Destiny 2 only achieved half the profits they had expected it to.
Stop making Destiny.
Which is
So there's going to be free. They've always said there's going to be free. This is a 10-year project.
Nah, stop doing that.
I think free will appeal to the tight fan base it's got. I think people will really.
But the
be
money they're spaffing on it. And it's all done on purpose. This was another thing that really pissed me off this week. So I've been playing Battlefield 1 on the Xbox.
I saw your tweet.
And you saw my tweet.
Yeah.
So it is so heavily built around microtransactions.
Oh yeah, see, I've
The
noticed
grind
that.
on
I've
it
just started playing it.
So
is insane.
I have to
it's
say that's
absolutely
ridiculous.
fucking
this
insane.
is clearly a later update because I got it about a month after launch and I played it for probably 20 hours. Not like loads, but not once was I. It was very much the old when they first come into COD and you could go off and buy the crate on the additional screen. I was never forced to buy anything, so I reckon it was updated.
It never forces you to buy anything, but what it is it's the progression through your levels. They've actually slowed it right down. So from playing the earlier games of Call of Duty before they started monetizing it, you could go up the ranks quite quickly.
Yeah.
You'd open weapons quite quickly. In this, it is painfully slow. It is horribly slow to force you to buy the boxes, the loot crates.
Yeah.
And it's not that the loot crates will give you extra weapons that make you better. It's always skins, but what they put in there is they put in boosters,
XP
which
buff.
then allows you to gain XP at the same rate you'd gain XP if it was done normally. So it's purposefully built to force you to buy these things.
I went from level 1 to level 16 and I think I got maybe 2 guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what you don't see in Battlefield as well is your personal ranking doesn't affect your guns. The way to get new guns is to grind out with a certain class.
Yeah, I did.
And there are
what I do.
multiple classes. So I've put in a shitload of hours and I've just got to rank 3 with my assault guy.
My God.
And I've
all about
stopped
assault
playing
as well.
the other ones and I was like, I'm going to be assault
Yeah,
for a
that's what
while
I'm
to
doing.
get him up there. And it's taken ages, absolutely fucking ages, because they purposefully built it into it. And that's what these AAA companies are doing now. They've seen that basically they've caught the market. They know that you've got these people who just buy whatever the fuck you put in front of them. And then they've made it a grind so that you will pay inside it.
Yeah.
Because they've got you trapped. So yes, these people who go out there and buy just because it's the new game and someone's told them to do it,
Poor John,
yes, they're dicks.
Poor John from work as well. He spends 20 quid a month on an Ultimate Team.
What the fuck?
Which he can't
John,
use
come
next
on, mate.
fucking
Come on,
game.
mate.
But I mean, I'm not trying to offend him, but if it's the only game he buys all year,
Well, just
Yeah,
stop
but
it.
they've got him. They've got him in their fucking greasy
Stop
grasp,
spending
haven't
20
they?
quid a month on Ultimate Teams and go look in the indie game section and play some fucking good games.
Yeah.
Instead of Ultimate Teams, which is not a good game.
Look, mate, stop living in
FIFA's a
2010,
good
to be
game.
honest.
I enjoyed it, but Ultimate Team isn't. It is just
I
a
thought people got
grind
over
and a
Ultimate
marketing
Team.
one.
it's
not
at
as
its peak.
huge.
It's at its peak.
It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I got into Ultimate Team when it was first a thing, when they introduced it, because I was like, oh, this is really competitive. It's like,
Good year, FIFA.
sorry?
Good year for FIFA. 2010, wasn't it? 2010? FIFA 10?
I can't remember which one it was in.
I was one
playing
Rooney
Madden.
on the front cover. I think it was Rooney on the front cover.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
It was it wasn't 2010 because that's when the year I went to university and Ultimate Team came out when I was at university.
So it was later?
Yeah, it was later in 2010. But anyway, we're not talking about Ultimate Team.
sorry,
But no,
Welcome to
I
Ultimate
agree
Team
with you.
podcast.
If you go out your way to buy a game because it's like, oh,
Because
this
the
is
new
everyone's
shit.
playing this,
Yeah.
I should get it.
Yeah. And you're paying the 50 to 60 quid.
Yeah.
Then yeah, sorry you are. You
Yeah.
are just a dick.
Yeah.
If
basically
if
Tom.
you're going out and you're paying 50, 60
I've
quid
bought a
for a
game on launch for
AAA game
idiots.
that you want to
Except
play,
Spider-Man. Doesn't count. That's
yeah,
experience.
but that's it. If you're there and you go, right, I'm going to go buy Spider-Man, 50,
Yeah.
60 quid, because you want to play that and that's something you've thought, then no, you're not a dick.
Yeah.
Because AAA games are
Tom
good
is just
fun.
a dick anyway, not for that reason.
Well, yeah, that's nothing to do with games. That's just my general personality,
yeah.
you know? That's how I try to project myself.
AAA games, some AAA games are bloody good fun.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed Forza Horizon. I've really enjoyed playing. That's been great. And I didn't pay for it. It was Game Pass. So, you know, that's a sneaky way around
I would
it.
have happily paid for it otherwise, but
But, you know,
Yeah.
I haven't bought Call of Duty.
Gwen,
I haven't bought Call
free.
of Duty for years.
Gwent's free.
there's no point. I haven't bought Red Dead Redemption.
No.
Because I'm not paying.
I've probably waxed
I'm not buying that. I'm going to wait until it's reduced in price.
You pre-ordered it, didn't you? And you just thought, oh yeah, I've got this.
Yeah, I think I was
on
on the hype train.
Yeah.
When it all come out, it was like, you pre-order now, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll pre-order it.
I was going to get Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And then I saw everything about the loot boxes in there and how and I was like, you know what, no, I'm not going to do that.
The last game I got on launch before Spider-Man was Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I looked at all the reviews and then I was like, that's a great game.
Mine was Croc Legend of the Gobbos.
Wow.
That's also bullshit.
Do you know what really annoys me? And it's complete tangent.
Bullshit.
Complete tangent before we wrap up.
Yeah.
I always see every now and then on my YouTube feed, it comes up with like 10 3D platformers that must get a remake. There's always always different channels.
Yeah.
No one ever fucking mentions Croc Legend of the Gobbos.
No one cares, that's why.
You're not watching the right channels for a start, and secondly, there's a reason.
I'm like, you
Where's
guys,
Odyssey 3D 2?
there's a reason. There's a reason because they've never played it. They're too young for it. They don't appreciate 3D platformers.
Kids out there!
Yeah, they don't really appreciate 3D platformers with nothing in them.
Well, don't worry. Once I've got this PC, every Thursday will be Throwback Thursday, where I'll be bringing you a classic retro game
Oh shit.
live to 2 people, my mom and me, because I'll be streaming it in the background.
On Twitter, I used to follow someone that was called Things Up Fanny Friday. And things are spelled with F. And there's always a picture every week with something up her fanny. I'm not kidding. It was the most bizarre things. Where you're like, is that a hairbrush? It is? Okay, cool. That's why they picture this week.
Did they then release what it was like the next day? So on Friday, you spent the whole day
Sometimes
guessing.
you would be
the
like,
next day it was like, oh.
sometimes at uni you would be arguing like, it's definitely this, mate. It's like, it's a champagne bottle. I'm telling you, mate. You're like, no, it's not. It's green glass. I can tell it. Like, yeah, it was just the most bizarre. Never saw a face.
Is that still up?
Things up. I don't know. I'm not
doubt
not
it.
Things up.
Makes
Fanny
it
Friday.
worth it. Sounds like it.
FFF.
Triple F.
Yeah, triple F. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the
You
indie
spelt
credible.
things with an F.
Yeah, well, it's got alliteration. Yeah, sex sells.
What? You're just saying things.
Just saying things, yeah. Dreams do come true.
When in Rome. That is going to wrap up the Indie Credible Podcast, episode 64. As always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by and watching or listening, whatever you chose to do.
Yeah. Hopefully.
We'd love to know, obviously, foreign user, thank you for getting in touch.
Yes.
Good
Thank you
shit.
for getting me. Yeah, it was a good
opinion.
rant. It was a good thing to go on about. I'm glad you got it off your chest. If that's a place for you to vent, it's nice. It's sometimes nice to vent. Yeah. But guys, what do you think? Do you agree with what foreign users said? Do you agree with our thoughts here? Personally, like I said, 2019, I think it's going to be a fucking cracking year for indie games. There's some good AAAs coming, don't get me wrong. DMC5.
I literally can't think of a single one.
But Kingdom Hearts, DMC5.
Oh, DMC5.
What else?
Yeah.
FIFA 19.
Madden.
If The Last Night comes next year,
COD.
that's that
Whatever.
you remember that Pixel game that, like the cyberpunky Pixel game that was announced at E3,
Yes.
the indie game.
Yes, that looks
If
so
that comes
good.
next year. Anyway, going on more tangents.
Yeah, anyway, we're ending it.
We're ending it. We're done.
Yeah, we are ending it. So
If you want to hear more of us ranting, though, you can join us on Patreon.
Well, look,
where
the
we
name's
write
coming
about
across
this.
here now. They pay Big Boys Club. They pay $1, or they pay minimum of $1 a month. Some of them pay. I think all of them actually pay more. Then and you get exclusive pre and post show content. You get an ad-free experience, no ads whatsoever, and you also get early access to some other monthly content that we do. And as we grow, you'll always be the first to get our new content that we kind of add into the channel and the website. But thank you all. Thank you all for stopping by, watching, listening. As I said, I've been Lewis. You can find me at What's Up Woody. To my left again has been Tom. You can find him at Shriek and Profit. And if you type the Dice Bear into Google, you can literally find Dan at anywhere that says the Dice Bear.
Yeah.
And he's all over it.
All over
He's a fucking whore for that.
I am whore for the Google.
Thanks again, guys, for stopping by. And until next time, you stay incredible.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.